Karel Show. I am Karel. I bet Kyle has not got my guest on the line yet. That's because he just forgot, but that's okay. I love him anyway. But Cindy Sheehan is running for Vice President of the United States of America with Roseanne Barr on the Peace and Freedom Party. They are the official nominees. Roseanne being president and Cindy Sheehan being the vice presidential candidate. And she is going to be here with us in just a moment as soon as Kyle rings her up. And we'll get her on the line to talk about her bid for vice president of the United States. Now, I am told that Cindy and Roseanne will not be able to appear on enough ballots in enough states at this time to give them a fighting chance. So it is a mostly symbolic run. But, of course, they should be able to enter the national debate. Why not? They are candidates. So I always love to have Cindy on, and we will get her on here in just a quick second to talk about her run for Vice President of the United States, as well as Roseanne Barr's run to be president. And she's here with us now. Hi, love. How are you? How are you, Cindy?
I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Girl, I had no idea when we became friends that I might be talking to a vice president one day. I mean, come on now. That'll be my second political friend, Gavin Newsom being a good friend of mine, and he's going to be president one day. So let's talk about this. You and Roseanne Barr. Now, is this a symbolic gesture, or why are you and Roseanne doing this?
Well, Roseanne has been wanting to run for president she announced like last year. And she tried to get the Green Party nomination. That didn't work out. So she tried to get, she was vying for the Peace and Freedom Party nomination here in California. And I'm a member of the party, and Roseanne and I have been friends for quite a while. She supported me when I ran against Nancy Pelosi. So, like last week, she asked me to be she picked me for the vice presidential nominee, and this past weekend we were voted in to get the nomination of the Peace and Freedom Party. So it was really exciting. It was the first convention I went to that I didn't get arrested at or kicked out of.
well, there's a record. Now let's talk about this. What are you hoping? What you specifically? I mean, I don't want you to speak for. I know a lot of VP candidates try to speak for their candidate, the president, but I want to speak about you. What are you hoping to get from this campaign? What do you want to give, and what do you want to get?
Well, since I ran against Nancy Pelosi, I have been writing a lot about socialism and the socialist revolution. And I joined the Peace and Freedom Party because they are a socialist feminist party, and their platform is amazing with many things that, I think even most left-wing Democrats would agree with us on. So what I want to do, and I'm very excited about it, is raising the profile of the Peace and Freedom Party here in California. We need to register 45,000 more people here in California by 2014 just to stay on the ballot because of that Prop 14 Top 2 primary thing that really is designed just to push third-party and independent people out of the political process. Since I've been on board this campaign, we already are on the ballot in Florida, and we're working on Colorado and 20 other states 20 to 25 other states for Roseanne and I to be on the ballot. So to talk about the system is broken. The Democrats, Republicans definitely don't have the urge to fix it, and the solution is, these great programs of single-payer health care, free education from preschool to university, housing as a right, healthy food as a right, clean water as a right, the environment. The Peace and Freedom Party is very, pro-environmental issues, and so I'm just really excited to keep doing what I've been doing for a long time, and that's talking about peace, and that's talking about freedom. And, of course, the biggest way we can promote the items on our agenda, on this people's agenda, is by bringing the troops home from the wars from all around the world. And, not only will that give us an amazing cash flow to work with here in the United States, it will bring peace around the world, environmental cleanups around the world, and I just think it'll make the world a better place. So I'm very excited to have this bigger platform to talk about these issues that I've really been talking about now since I ran for Congress against Nancy Pelosi.
Now, why do you suppose the occupiers didn't grab on to someone like you or others and get financing and money behind them like the Tea Parties did and get, I've always said that people bitch and moan about there not being a credible third party. Well, no one wants to acknowledge that there is now. It's called the Tea Party, unfortunately, but they are a credible third party. They get candidates elected. They have an influence in the election. They have members of Congress and the Senate. They've turned into a credible party. Why don't progressives who believe in peace, who believe in universal health care, who believe in all the things that progressives say they believe in, why do you suppose they haven't gravitated towards like a peace and freedom platform and gotten more involved?
Well, I think the Occupy movement, and I talked about this in the convention, I had to represent Roseanne at the convention because she was being roasted by Comedy Central, and that had been something on her schedule for months that she couldn't get out of. And I talked about the Occupy movement did the people in the left in this country a really big favor by putting these issues into the public discourse, especially the issue around class division and income division. But there was no real leadership to show them the way that we can solve these problems. You're not going to solve the problems by, and I know this because I did it myself. And I told all the Occupy movements this: we're not going to we're not going to solve the problems by setting up tents. We're going to solve the problems by organizing, by working together to, actually do things that will make a difference. So I hope this candidacy of Roseanne's and my candidacy, which will be a national campaign, mostly focused and centered in California, because we believe that California is the perfect place to have this revolution, to lead the nation. We're the seventh biggest economy in the world, and we used to be this amazing state that was a leader in education and healthcare and in environmental sustainability, but, we've gone far off the track with that.
How pissed off are Democrats about what you're doing? Because obviously, by doing this, it's saying to the world that, look, there's not a viable candidate on either side. So, obviously that has got to upset some Democrats.
Well, we've heard from some Democrats that say that if we do this, that we're going to put Mitt Romney in the White House. And, my response to that for a long time has been, the Democratic Party does not own your vote, and I don't think the Democratic Party has even worked very hard to earn the votes of the people who are registered with their party. So hopefully, if they really want to, remain in power, that this will actually drag them to the left where they should be. So, obviously we want to win, and obviously we're not going to do that in 2012. But this is an ending in November of 2012.
Right.
This is a movement, I think, that by 2016, it will be a very effective movement like the Tea Party to counteract the Tea Party, which, of course, we don't agree with. We're not.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Roseanne's own little party is the Green Tea Party.
Right.
So we want to do this and build to 2016, and we also have midterm elections in 2014. So
now,
we work really hard to spread this around the country. We can put people in Congress by 2014.
Now, someone mentioned to me over the weekend on KGO when the news came out about the nomination and the like, and you and Roseanne, and I said, let me email Cindy and get her on the show. Someone said, I like Cindy. They were in the chat room, and they said, I like Cindy, but sometimes she just goes way overboard on some of these things. And I thought to myself, I've known Cindy a long time, and I've known everything she's gotten into, and I can't think of one thing that I thought she went too far in any direction on. Why do you think you've become a polarizing figure in some places?
I don't think it's my fault. I think it's the fault of the system. We have a system where people have been literally beaten down our whole lives, saying that if you're poor, if you don't have health care, if you don't have a job, or if you don't have a good job, if you don't have a fancy house.
Wait, hold on, Sydney. Let me ask you a personal question. Let me ask you, do you have health insurance yet?
No.
Okay, because I know you didn't before, and you know that I took the gig back at KGO to get health insurance. And I had a health scare yesterday, 170 over 120 blood pressure. So it was.
Oh my God!
Oh, they thought they're checking my heart for blockage on Wednesday or next Wednesday, but it was a $6,000 day. I had a head CT, a carotid artery scan, a resting echocardiogram, all these different things. And even though I'm now insured, they give you an itemization. It was a $6,000 day, and I thought if I were not insured, I would be at home wondering if I'm having a stroke or a heart attack instead of here at the doctor. And it's a national shame. That is a national shame.
It is a national shame, but what we are beat down with is the idea that it's our fault.
Right.
You know, it must be your fault when it's the fault of the system. And I have been all over the world where healthcare and education and housing and food and the environment is enshrined as the environment in some Latin American countries has the same right as citizens. Here in the United States, it's corporations that have the same rights as citizens. So when I say that people have these human rights, as an American, that is a pretty extreme position. It's an extreme position, but it's the correct position. But, you know, when we look back over our history, women having the right to vote was an extreme position.
Right.
People of color having the right to vote was an extreme position. Ending slavery was extreme. So if we don't have people like me who don't care what people say about them out there leading the way to an extreme position to mainstream it, then we'll never get anything accomplished in this country.
Absolutely. Cindy Sheehan is my guest. 855-49. Karel is the number. 855-49-Karel. 855-495-2735. If you want to talk to her, she is the vice presidential candidate for the Peace and Freedom Party, with Roseanne Barr being the presidential candidate. More with her and your calls when we return. Cindy Sheehan is my guest. I was so privileged to meet her when she first was camping out, and I had her on my radio show, and we stayed in touch throughout the years, and I'm lucky enough to be able to call her a friend, and I have admired her and her activism and activity, and I don't care whether you agree or disagree with her, at least she has done something. She didn't just bitch and moan about Nancy Pelosi, she tried to run against her. And she's not just bitching and moaning about Mitt Romney or Barack Obama. She's running against them. And while you might think, oh, they don't have a snowball's chance in hell, how does anybody break a system up if they don't start challenging it? How do you let the Democrats know that if they don't start moving to the left, you will in fact challenge them, and one day the challenge will be credible and will in fact overtake them? And by the way, if enough of the nation got behind them right now, it would be a credible threat. All anybody really needs is your support. That's all they need. And if you like what they have to say, why wouldn't you support them? Oh, because it's a vote for Mitt Romney. Stop it. Those days are over. She is our guest, and Stephen Salinas wanted to get through to her at 855-495-2735, 855-49-KAREL. Welcome back, Cindy and Stephen Salinas.
Thank you.
Hey, Steve, what's up?
I was thinking if Green Party and Peace and Freedom Party and Libertarian Party got together, they could push for instant runoff elections. And that would make it a whole bunch easier for us to vote for the Peace and Freedom Party or the Green Party or the Libertarian Party.
What about that, Cindy? What about some of the other parties joining together to unify and make an even bigger presence?
Well, I do want to say that the Peace and Freedom Party does work with the Green Party and the Libertarian Party in California. Right now, I'm so damn proud of you, Cindy. I'm so damn proud of you because I know what you've been through. I know who you are. You're a mom. You know, I'll never forget when you told me that one day when you were told about your son so long ago that you went to the floor a mom and you came up an activist. And that was... Well, obviously, you know I do a lot of talk radio, and yet I remember that because that was so profound to me, Cindy. And you and Donna Zovko, I know you know who Donna Zovko is. Her son was dragged and hung up and beaten like a piñata. The two of you
are such inspirations for me, because I've watched you walk into the halls of Congress with the amount of people dead in Iraq on your shirt and be arrested for simply, doing freedom of speech. I have watched you face the system and have it beat you down, and yet you get right back up, and now you are running for one of the highest offices in the land. And whether anyone takes that seriously or not, I do. Well, I don't care what party it is. I take it very seriously when someone puts their hat in the ring, and it's not the first time that you've done it. And it's amazing to me that you have just the gumption to do it, because it's got to be so unrewarding sometimes, I mean, you got to just go, oh, the system's never going to change. And yet there you are, continually trying to change it. And that, to me, is the true spirit of activism.
And I was actually arrested yesterday, too.
What'd you do this time, child?
I was up in Washington State posing. Yesterday was, of course, the anniversary of the bombing of Hiroshima.
Yes.
The atom bombing of Hiroshima. So I was up in Washington State, and we were blocking the entrance to a nuclear subbase up there, and 15 of us were detained and released. So it was my second arrest protesting at nuclear bases this year. So I think that,
you should get like a frequent flyer arrest card. You should start getting reward points for all the times you've been arrested or something. I don't know.
You know what drives Donna and I think, and I don't know Donna, but I know who she is we don't want it to happen, what happened to us, to happen to anybody else.
Right.
And at the end of the day and in the morning, I'm very cognizant of the fact that people are in danger all around the world because of
my friend right now, James Ryan, right now is in Afghanistan. Someone that I would marry, and today's Andrew's birthday, so I don't really, but Andrew, I know today Andrew would have been 46 today. But James Ryan is in Afghanistan right now, and he just posted a picture on Twitter. He just got his front tooth knocked out because of a blast, and I of course went crazy. I was like, well, why were you near a blast? What was going on? Cindy, we wish you well. Tell me where we can go to find out about the campaign, make donations, support it. Where can we go?
There's a Roseanne for President 2012 website, but if you'd like to help us get on the ballot or spread the word about peace and freedom, I want people to email me right now, because the campaign's kind of in a dither with getting on the ballot. So
right.
My email is Cindy Sheehan soapbox@gmail.com, and I'll put you in contact with the right person.
You got it. I will make sure that we do that. I'll make sure that
re-register Peace and Freedom Party.
All right, we're up against it, Cindy.
We can keep us going. Thank you.
You got it. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you.